Hi, welcome to the Wisdom of Naomi, episode 6, Lamenting When Your Soul Hurts. As a reminder, be sure to subscribe. That way you are notified when I upload new videos. Give me a thumbs up. And I want to connect with you post-video, so ask a question or leave a comment. I am your host, Tika. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time of day it is that you're watching this video, I'm glad that you decided to join me on this journey again. My goal for this channel is for us to pray and meditate together as we navigate life's challenges while remaining faithful to His Word, especially when our souls are heavy. To prepare yourself to have this conversation with me, grab your journal, your Bible, light a candle, grab a cup of coffee, pour some water, just to prepare yourself to have a conversation on lamenting. So I want to focus on 3 points of lamenting. 1, what is it? 2, is it okay? And lastly, can we benefit from lamenting? I do want to share with you that I am in a sorrowful place right now, which is why I am doing this particular topic. I feel the need to lament, and I can't imagine that I'm the only one. The war in Ukraine is heavy. Seeing the images in real time is devastating. The ugly, hateful rhetoric here in the United States is demoralizing. And I could just go on and on and on. This just so much. And I think I've said in other videos, again, one of the reasons I started this is because we are living in such toxic, ugly, dark times. And the war in Ukraine and the ugly rhetoric here in the United States just reinforces that. And I just feel like crying. It's tough. It is really, really tough right now. And when I think about everything that's happening, no one has told me this, and I've shared with you, I am not a pastor, I am not a theologian, I am simply a Christian woman who loves the Lord, who loves reading and studying His Word, and who wants to connect with others. But I feel like what we're seeing is the ultimate sin against God. And to me, that is the sin of hating His creation. And I'm going to read to you 1 John chapter 4, verse 20. So 1 John chapter 4, verse 20. I get my glasses on. Okay. And it says, if someone says, I love God, and yet he hates his brother or his sister, he is a liar. For the one who does not love his brother and sister, whom he has seen, cannot love God, whom he has not seen. I feel that the ultimate sin against God is to hate God's creation, which is your own brother and sister. I feel that's what's happening in Ukraine, and I feel that's what's happening here in the United States. So I am in a period of season of lamenting. What is lamenting? To lament is to express our sorrow, our sadness, our hurt, our pain. And there are many, many instances in the Bible where others lamented, right? And they tore their clothes and they put on sackcloth and ashes on their body. They were in mourning for the loss of a loved one, or they had to move from one land to the next because of famine or war, whatever that may be. There are many, many instances in the Bible of individuals lamenting. Yet somehow, somewhere within our churches, there are those who don't feel that they necessarily embrace lamenting as much. Depending on who you ask, right, within the church, there are some who, there's one camp who will say it's God's will. And I just feel like they just kind of wash their hands, and like, where's the empathy? Where's the empathy? Where's the sorrow or the pain for your fellow brother and sister? Then there's another camp who does embrace lamenting, and they are showing empathy for their fellow brother and sister. And I just can't help but say, Jesus took on our human form. He knows what it is that we go through, right? Even when Mary and Martha and the town, when they were mourning the death of Lazarus, and Jesus saw their pain of what they were going through, and the shortest sentence in the entire Bible is Jesus wept. He demonstrated empathy. He didn't say it was God's will. Now, of course, the raising of Lazarus, right? All of that was definitely part of God's plan. But Jesus wept. He displayed empathy to Martha and Mary and to the people in the town who was mourning Lazarus' deaths. Sometimes we don't always get that from our fellow Christians, and I don't know how that happened, right? And I mean, 1 John 4:20 to me says it all. It just says it all. And of course, I have a story for you. I always have a story for you. So I shared in a previous video that I divorced. What I didn't share, I'm sharing with you today, is a year after my divorce, my ex-husband died. And it was beyond devastating when he died. And sadly, I received the words of "it's God's will." It was messy, it was hurtful, and it did not help me. I struggled until I finally sought counsel outside of the church. And I met with a counselor, and he was a Christian counselor, but I met with the counselor maybe 6 or 7 times, and I cannot remember or recall half the things that we talked about. But the one thing that we talked about, he wanted to know what were some of the things that brought me in to see him, what were things that I wanted help and guidance on. And I shared with him how painful my ex-husband's death was to me, and how I was told that it was God's will. And he said to me, one, the first thing is, we don't know what God's will is. We don't. We can assume and make assumptions. We have no idea what is God's will. He said the second thing is, even if it is God's will, it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. Come on. That meant the world to me. And I'm pretty sure that I just cried more, and I thanked him for his words. Because just because, even if it was God's will, it doesn't mean that I can't feel emotion, that I can't cry, that I can't be sorrowful. I have no idea how we got to that as a church. And I don't want to generalize the church, but there are some in the church that feel that way. I don't know how we got to that point as a nation where we feel that if it's happening, it's just happening, right? Just get over it. That helped me so much by him telling me that just because, or even if it is, it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. that was so, so powerful. And it helped to put me on my path of healing. So lamenting, right? So lamenting is the act of expressing sorrow and pain. My second point is it okay to lament? It is. Absolutely. You want to make sure that you are careful with who you seek that counsel from, and prayerfully and hopefully no one responds to you the way that they responded to me. But do you want to know how I know that it is okay to lament? Guess what? Guess what? There is an entire book in the Bible called Lamentations. An entire book. Yes, it is okay to lament. It is okay. God gave us a heart. He gave us emotions. He expects for us to lament. And that leads me to my third and final point. Can we benefit from lamenting? Yes, we can. Because one of the things that we learn by reading the book of Lamentations is it's reflective, it's introspective, it is an opportunity for growth, it is an opportunity for growing closer to God. I tried to find maybe just a couple verses that I wanted to share with you on Lamentations. It's a short read, is 5 chapters. I recommend reading all 5 of those chapters. There's a lot that is happening that the prophet Jeremiah is sharing in Lamentations, but it's so profound because it is so reflective, and it is an opportunity that as he's sharing with the people of Jerusalem, that we can grow and we can grow closer to God, and we can make changes in our life as a result of what we're going through right now. And that is the beauty and the power of lamenting. We can heal from our hurt, but we need to cleanse ourselves through crying. We need to be able to share our pains with others. We need to have those days where maybe we're just in bed with the cover over our head and the drapes closed. We won't stay there, right? We're going to get the help that we need. We're going to grow closer to God and pray to God, and perhaps seek a therapist or a counselor or someone that we know that we can talk to, and they're not going to put us in a place to make us feel bad. We're going to receive that help so that we can grow and reflect. We can definitely benefit from lamenting because it is an opportunity for reflection, introspection, and growth. I pray that this quick, short message touches you, that if you are in a space of lamenting, either for what's happening in Ukraine, what's happening here in the United States, what may be happening in your own personal life and your family, that you take that time to lament. It's okay. Read Lamentations. It's 5 chapters. It's a quick read. Read Lamentations and seek the counsel that you may need to help you with your reflection and introspection and growth. I thank you for joining me on another episode of The Wisdom of Naomi. And until we meet again, I pray that God keeps you and that He blesses you. Have a great day.